Hey, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over Chapter 9. So Chapter 9 is testing with Pester. So overall it's going to be quality assurance. Not many pages. I was looking over it before this. Looks like it's a total of 3 pages. So it's going to be very quick. But why testing is very important is being able to check your code and making sure that it's running properly. Some things can be updated, upgrades, things can happen to code and then make it perform incorrectly. So just being able to check them in the long run, especially if PowerShell gets upgraded or one of the dependencies you have gets changed, it's really well and able to have this properly ran. So starting off, it says there's no way around it. You need to test your code. It's easy to assume your code has no flaws. It's even easier to be proven wrong. When you test with Pester, you can solve assuming and start knowing. So introducing Pester. Pester is an open source testing PowerShell module available in PowerShell Gallery. Because it's effective and written in PowerShell, it's become the de facto standard for testing in PowerShell. It allows you to write multiple types of tests, including unit, integration, and acceptance tests. If you use these test names don't ring a bell, don't worry. In this book, we'll be using Pester only to the environmental changes such as whether a virtual machine has created with the right name, whether ISS was installed, or whether the proper operating system was installed. We'll refer to these tests as the infrastructure tests. We won't cover how to test for things like whether a function was called, whether a variable was set correctly, or whether a script returned a specific object type. That's all in the world of unit testing. If you're curious about unit testing with Pester and want to learn more about Pester in a different situation, check out the Pester book. It gives a link to it, which explains just about everything you need to know about testing with PowerShell. So it says Pester Basics. You have a Pester file and a describe block. So we'll go over this clear. So it has c:/sample.test.ps1 describe context it and assertion. So at the very beginning got this and we got describe IIS inside curly brackets, just like that. So that's all they have starting off, showing you the scheme in which everything is portrayed. And then all we're going to do is tab it out, context, Windows, features, inside more curly brackets. And then inside of that, it's it block. And so it says, now let's add the it block inside of the context block. And it block is a smaller component that labels the actual test. Its syntax shown in 9TAC4 has the following by a block, just as you saw with the describe block. So in here, we'll go it, and then single quote again, and then at the end of it, we'll do another. So then we'll do it is installs the web server Windows feature. So, and then you have finally an assertion. So what we'll do is you're going to do this, which is get Windows feature, computer name, web srv1, name, web tech server, inside of there, installed. I'm going to run that down here. So the reason that get Windows feature, computer name, so again, this goes to the remote, since there is no remote. It does have it say that it is not a recognized commandlet. So get Windows feature is not something that we have. So it says inside the IT block you can include one or more assertions. An assertion can be thought of an actual test or code that compares the expected state of an actual state. And the common assertion of Pester is should assertion. The should assertion has different operations and can be used in it, such as be in, be less than, and so on. If you use the full list of available operators, the Pester wiki has a full list. In our ISS example, we'll check whether an app pool named test was created on our server. To do so, we first have to write the code to find the current state of the web tech server. Windows feature on the server. We'll call it web server 1. After a little investigating by browsing throughout the available PowerShell commands with the get command and sifting through the get Windows feature command help text, you'll find that the code to do so looks like what I just typed out. So inside here with this Windows, we'll put it, we want it to be $parameter, parameters equals at, and then curly brackets. Inside the curly brackets, we'll have the computer name, and then we'll have the name, tab it out, actually we can't in here, and then web server. And then one below, get Windows feature at parameters installed, and then should is what we're running against, be true, so we want it to be true. So with all of this put inside here, and then we should run it, and the only issue is it's not going to be able to find the Windows feature because it hasn't been installed, and then along with that it's not going to be able to find the web server 1. So then I'm able to invoke Pester test. So we want to do Pester test. Let's just do Pester test, and then invoke tag Pester, and then path where was it saved? Save as inside desktop. So it's looking in here. It's saved in desktop. So it says Pester test does not exist. So then with that, once we invoke that, what that should do, the only reason is because I can't find this as of right now. So file, save as, let's do run. So if we were to run this, so it's under administrator. That'll definitely do it. So users administrator desktop tester cannot be loaded because running script is disabled on this system. So that's when you have to do execution policy and change that. And once you change the execution policy that we did in the earlier chapters, if you look into that, then you should, with all of that, then that should be able to run. So we'll go on to chapter 9. So that was all that the very basics of all this is doing. So I'll actually go over what part 2 is, because now we're starting to automate the day-to-day, the actual fun stuff. So with this, we're going to be working with structured data, automating Active Directory tasks, controlling the cloud, and then creating a server inventory script, which that'll be awesome. So going over each one, working with structured data. Data is everywhere. If you're working with it before, you know it comes with millions of formats: SQL, XML, JSON, blah, blah, blah. Every time the data, its own specified structure, and each structure has been handled differently. And then you have automate Active Directory tasks. That will be awesome. So Active Directory is a directory service at a high level. You can think of a directory service as a hierarchical way to keep track of which IT resources a user can access. AD and Microsoft's version of a directory service, and you might imagine it's used thousands of organizations all over the world, making an era ripe of automation. And then creating a server inventory script before the context of the books, its accumulation. You'll need a solid foundation before attempting the whirlwind of technical wizardry. That is part 3, and that what chapter 14 is all about, combining all the know-how of gathered over the course of the book and turning it into a single project. Here, you'll learn how to combine disparate sources of information into a single cohesive report that also entails queries computers from AD and interrogating them with SIM, WMI, to access useful information such as RAM, CPU, speed, operating system, IP, and more. So I'm very excited for all of that. Let me know what you think about all this. I hope that you're liking it, and I hope this helps you out with developing your PowerShell skills. So appreciate you. Thanks for watching.